Tonight on OTV News, a Muskegon University alumna wins an award for her leadership in the community.
Muskies donate blood to the Red Cross.
And several established musicians perform at a jazz benefit in Cambridge. All that and more on OTV News.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason Shelmuffel.
And I'm Mary Beth Holtel. A Muskegon University alum won a prestigious award on February 6th. Bethany Hayes, Director of Public Safety and Assistant Director of Facilities at Ohio University Zanesville and Zane State College, won the Brian T. Wagner Community Leadership Award. The award is for those in the area that intend to help the community through their leadership. Hayes was surprised with the award, but thinks that it was a group effort.
So it's not just me, it's all of us as a community. Sometimes I'm at the forefront, running it or organizing it, but without their help, it couldn't be done. So I think that even though it might be my name on it, I still feel like this should be shared because it's all of us.
Hayes also was the first to start an active shooter drill at the Ohio University Zanesville and Zane State campus. Hayes currently resides in New Concord with her husband, Chief of Police Trevor Hayes, and their 2 children.
The New Concord Respect Store offers organic food options as a result of a merger with IGA. Organic foods are grown without pesticides or chemicals. Organic meat is raised without antibodies or growth hormones. Those who strive to be healthier may take advantage of the organic alternatives, and Respect tries to fulfill these preferences. Still, some people do not go for organic options in stores due to the higher costs. Respect also offers to buy anything customers may want and will have it back within a week or 2 to help expand their organic section.
Muskegon University held a blood drive on campus with the help of the local Red Cross. Orbit Media News correspondent Nicholas Lambus has more on why blood drives on campus are important.
Muskegon University held a blood drive on campus with the help of the local Red Cross. Blood drives happen frequently on Muskegon's campus, about once a semester, with participation from faculty and students. Communication representative for Red Cross, Rodney Wilson, said in a phone interview that 20% of blood donated to the Red Cross was done at different education institutions across the country, and that since a lot of returning donors are older adults, the need for young people to make blood donations a future habit is crucial to have a continuous supply of emergency blood for hospitals and ambulances. Student Alexandria Spring, who donated blood herself, had this to say.
I really wanted to donate blood because I like the thought of me saving people's lives and just making a difference for other people rather than just myself.
Every 2 seconds, someone in the United States is in need of blood, but only 38% of the United States are eligible to donate, and of that, only 10% actually do. As stated on the Red Cross's website, blood cannot be manufactured. It can only come from generous donors. For Orbit Media News, I'm Nicholas Lambus.
Music, food, and fundraising attract many to the area each year, including some established musicians. Orbit Media News correspondent Christine Holmes spoke with some of the musicians between sets to find out why they made the trip to Cambridge.
Nearly 300 people filled the Cambridge Eagles Club banquet hall on February 7th for the 12th annual Jammin' for Johnson benefit show. The Jazz Jam session, held in memory of Quaker City trumpet player Bunk Johnson, often attracts well-known artists to Cambridge. Returning to the stage this year was the daughter of musician Ray Charles, Sheila Ray Charles. She spent her early years living in Cambridge and knows the Johnson family very well.
They are like my family. I'm considered one of the members and vice versa. So I was in town and they asked me to do this benefit, and I believe in what they're doing, being supportive of other musicians that are young, that are out there, that may not necessarily be able to afford their instruments or may need their instruments refurbished and can't take care of it. And so I love that they're supporting of those children that need the help. And so being an artist, I had to support that.
Proceeds raised from Jammin' for Johnson benefit area high school students through the Bunk Johnson Music Scholarship Fund. Event coordinator and founder Bill Armstrong says several recipients of the scholarship have found success in their musical pursuits.
George Delancey was a bass player. One of our winners is now with Jazz at Lincoln Center with Wynton Marsalis in New York City. And Our second-year winner, Lucas Kaspar, is now on the faculty at Muskingum and soon to be on the faculty at The Ohio State University in the doctoral program. Just found that out. And Arissa Bodner, our late girl that won last year, marched in the Ohio State Marching Band this year in the national championship. So that's what makes it worthwhile.
Armstrong says Johnson was known for encouraging young musicians and including them in his own bands. The tradition still continues. Muskingum University senior Kurt Wolf has performed in the event for 4 years and says he appreciates the opportunity to play alongside professionals, including Emmy Award-winning pianist Dave Powers. Powers makes the trip from Columbus to Cambridge each year in order to jam for Johnson.
It's just a great opportunity. It's a fun thing to do, and I love to travel.
The Bunk Johnson Music Scholarship Fund has awarded over $15,000 in music scholarships to area high school students. This year, Jammin' for Johnson raised $1,265 just at the door, with even more proceeds expected. That's enough to award 2 scholarships in 2015. For Orbit Media News, I'm Christine Holmes.
It's great that so many students will benefit from the money raised by this event.
We'll see more on that concert later in the show.
Coming up. Coming up next, generous Muskies fill the Rec Center auditorium to donate their blood. And later, if you're looking for entertainment for a mature audience this weekend, skip 50 Shades of Grey and head to the Sandra Wolf Theater for Words, Words, Words.
New Concord Village Council meets every second Monday of the month, but you don't have to go. You can catch it on Orbit TV the week of council at 7, noon, and 7. Tune in and be up to date on all things New Concord, only on Orbit Television.
Can't make it to chapel? Tune in on Orbit TV to catch the weekly chapel service every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 and 10 p.m. for fellowship, worship, and a good message brought to you by Chaplain Will Mullins.
Muskingum University has completed their annual scholarship days for the next year's incoming first-year students. Orbit Media News correspondent Nicholas Lambus has more on the process of running scholarship days.
Muskingum University has completed their annual scholarship days for next year's incoming freshmen. Gary Atkins, Assistant Director of Admissions, believes the whole Muskingum community deserves thanks for the faculty and staff involvement, whether it be directly or indirectly.
I have to mention we get great support from our students. Our admission student workers, our campus tour guides are here and they're helping and they're escorting students and parents. They're sitting and talking with parents while the students are off doing different things. So we couldn't do this without the support of faculty, staff, of course. I mean, this is a true team effort. So there are lots of people to thank for this.
The main goal of the day, according to Atkins, is to squeeze as much experience and information as they can with a mixture of mandatory and optional activities. On average, Atkins said that there is usually between 280 and 300 students that show up over the course of the 3 days. Scholarship days are over for 2015, but the admissions office is already talking about how to improve the next year's recruitment efforts. For Orbit Media News, I'm Nicholas Lambus.
Stephen James, a trumpet soloist, will be visiting Brown Chapel on Friday. James is a skilled musician. He performs repertoire from many different genres. Assistant Professor of Music David Turrell looks forward to the performance.
He's got a fantastic sound and tremendous technique, and I think he will dazzle our audience.
The event will be hosted by the Muskingum University Music Department and will begin at 7:30 in the evening. The concert is open to the public.
Stephen James will also be featured in the upcoming Muskingum Valley Symphonic Winds concert, The Winds of Change. It will include a variety of music from many different composers, as well as music from Romantic through modern periods. Assistant Professor of Music David Turrell conducts the Symphonic Winds and expresses his thoughts on the upcoming performance.
Symphonic Winds is a community and professional concert band that I conduct that meets on Wednesday nights and gives a 3-concert series throughout the year.
The concert will take place in Brown Chapel on Sunday at 3 p.m. In need of a laugh? Muskingum's newest comedy, Words, 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 uses ironic enough words to show the good and bad of the human language. That's all for local news. After this short break, we'll be back with your sports, with the latest on the Lady Muskies with their battle loss against the Crusaders.
New Concord Village Council meets every second Monday of the month, but you don't have to go. You can catch it on Orbit TV the week of council at 7, noon, and 7. Tune in and be up to date on all things New Concord, only on Orbit Television.
Can't make it to chapel? Tune in on Orbit TV to catch the weekly chapel service every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 and 10 p.m. for fellowship, worship, and the good message brought to you by Chaplain Will Mullins.
The men's basketball team struggled against Capital on the road Wednesday night, losing 95-74 in Bexley. The Muskies were led by Christian Keller, who scored 21 points on the night. The Muskies surrendered 48 points to the Crusader bench, which helped Capital pull away in the second half. The men now stand on the outside looking in at the OAC tournament, sitting a full game behind the Crusaders in the standings. The women's team also struggled against the Crusaders Wednesday night, falling 68-61 in the home confines of the rec center. The Muskie attack was paced by Mallory Taylor's 14 points on the night. Taylor finished just shy of a double-double, recording 7 rebounds as well. The ladies now find themselves in a 3-way tie for 7th place in the conference with Marietta and Mount Union, but would be the first team out in the current tie-breaking scenario. The Muskies have a tough road ahead of them, with 3 of the top 5 teams in the OAC coming up to end the season. The Muskies will begin that test Saturday when they play host to Ohio Northern. We'll see how the Muskies do down the stretch, but for right now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the new play being put on by the theater department, only on OTV News.
New Concord Village Council meets every second Monday of the month, but you don't have to go. You can catch it on Orbit TV the week of council at 7, noon, and 7. Tune in and be up to date on all things New Concord, only on Orbit Television.
Can't make it to chapel? Tune in on Orbit TV to catch the weekly chapel service every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 and 10 p.m. for fellowship, worship, and the good message brought to you by Chaplain Will Mullins.
Muskingum University's theater department's opening night for the comedy Words, Words, Words was earlier tonight. The performance was held in the Sandra Wolf Thompson Theater in Caldwell Hall. The play is directed by visiting assistant professor of theater John Kuhn. Kuhn says the play portrays the successes and failures of language. The cast of 19 Muskingum students have been rehearsing the play for about a month. The play will continue to be performed all weekend with showings tomorrow and Saturday at 8 in the evening, and Sunday there will be a 2 in the afternoon showing.
A famous comedian, Adam Grabowski, came to Muskingum last weekend to perform in the Bottom of the Chest Center for an hour-and-a-half-long performance. The performance included jokes about people in the crowd, electronic games like Bop It, and crazy old cat ladies. Grabowski stated comedy over 6 years has since had many accolades, such as Fastest Rising Star in 2012, Comic of the Year in 2013, and Entertainer of the Year in 2014. This was his first performance at the Muskingum University, but he has done over 400 shows in 42 different states.
Muskingum's biannual etiquette dinner is being hosted on February 27th from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Bottom of the Quad Center. Career Services throws it once a semester, not only to provide a fun social event, but to teach important skills for thriving in a social setting. It's an opportunity that allows students to put themselves in a professional dinner setting, which they will have to encounter when they talk to future employers or clients. Students will learn how to act professionally in ways ranging from how to use utensils to what the proper dinner conversation is.
For this evening, be sure to check us out on WMCO 90.7, OrbitMediaOnline.com.
And you can also pick up a copy of the Black and Magenta and stay up to date on recent campus and community events. We leave you tonight with more music from the Jamming for Johnson concert.